Extra, extra, read all about it. Charlie Chaplin has the anniversary, it's the 100-year anniversary of a Charlie Chaplin film. Which Charlie Chaplin film? I don't remember. I didn't take the look at my admin notes
It's
beforehand.
the kid.
It's the kid. The kid. He's new on the block and he's a child. Not really. It's the tramp himself. Charlie Chaplin. We're talking Charlie Chaplin. You're also here with us while we do it. Top 3 Charlie Chaplin.
Wow, that was so fast.
Honestly, not the cleanest I've ever done.
No. That was
Let's get into it. Stop dilly-dallying around, young man. We're going to get right into it. We're talking the top 3 Charlie Chaplin films that we have seen. We watched for it. We're going to go real quick, David. You ready?
I'm ready.
Number 3 on my list is Gold Rush.
Oh!
I think you have some of the best Chaplin slapstick. You have amazing set pieces. You have all around just good goofs, good times, great world building. I really enjoyed it. It's great. I love it. 10 out of 10.
So,
8 out of 10.
wow. Are we doing ratings for every movie that is on this list now? What the fuck? Just throwing ratings
only that
out?
one.
Okay, cool.
What's your number 3?
So really quick preface. I had to watch all of my Chaplin films for this because I hadn't seen. I've seen like parts of Chaplin films before, but never actually.
Doesn't really sound like a quick
Chaplin
preference.
Film. So only one didn't make the list.
That seems like a long preference.
My number 3 Charlie Chaplin film is The Kid. This one is just so warm and so light and so easy to watch. There's there's like a handfuls of like really like dramatic drama filled moments, but there's so much levity and love and joy.
Wait, did you say The Kid?
Yes, The Kid.
Good golly, Miss Molly, that's 100 years old, you know.
Jesus fuck. That was pre-planned, everyone. It's just a really lighthearted and sweet film. The ending, a little weird. I don't know how I felt about it. The ending specifically, like the angel scene.
Fair.
A little. It just caught me off guard. I was not expecting it, but still a really, really fun ride. Ethan,
there's a reason it didn't make my list. You want to know my second favorite Chaplin film?
Yeah, I was trying to ask that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Oh.
yep. What's your number 2?
Go. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
Go ahead and ask
Ethan,
me.
what is your number 2?
My number 2?
Yeah.
My number 2 what?
Number 2 Charlie Chaplin film.
You have to be more specific about this.
What is your second favorite Charlie Chaplin film?
Oh, my second favorite Charlie Chaplin? Why didn't you just say that in the first place? It's Modern Times. Of course it is. It is pro-worker, anti-cop.
Okay, really quick.
It's perfect.
A lot of these silent age films are very anti-cop. Like,
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
as
look
they
at
should
Charlie
be.
Chaplin. I know. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is pretty interesting.
No, it's really good. This is where you kind of start. So Gold Rush doesn't have a lot of political stuff in it, whereas Modern Times is a good balance between some of that kind of political commentary and slapstick. It does a really, really good mix of both of them, and I enjoyed it thoroughly for those exact reasons.
My second film is the film that I'm going to need a little help properly pronouncing this first word. Monsieur Verdoux. This was actually like the dark drama comedy, which followed around Charlie Chaplin's character, Mr. Verdoux, who goes around meeting rich females, getting them to fall in love with him, getting them to marry him, and then he poisons them. This also, really interestingly enough, I didn't actually know this, in the opening credits, the concept of the movie came from the mind of Orson Welles. So that's cool.
I've heard of him.
Right? Yeah, this is a really good little murder mystery drama black comedy film. Ethan, we all know what your number 1 is, so just say it. We've talked about it, I feel like, a lot recently.
Good golly, Miss Molly. Look out for Hitler, he's a bad egg. Now we're into the talkies portion of the Charlie Chaplin world. Except yours was also a talkie, so maybe I should have said that earlier.
Also,
we're talking The Great Dictator.
Also, really quick before you get into it, it's really weird because in that film, Monsieur Verdoux,
Monsieur? Yeah.
yeah, World War II kicks off, like, at the end of it. And, like, they have, like, a whole, like, reel of, like, Hitler and, like, German Nazi film. And I was like, whoa, interesting. I was like, is this a connected universe? Like, are we about to get the Great Dictator in this film? Really, I just didn't expect it.
Yeah, Great Dictator is a fantastic film. One, you still have some great slapstick. You got some very fun barbershop scenes. But you also have one of the best speeches ever given on film.
Ooh.
In any movie.
We should do that
of all
list.
time.
That's a really good
And
list.
that is the closing speech. And it's really, really good. And it kind of makes me cry a lot. Just think about it. You know, really, really gets me going. It's a great fucking movie,
Yeah,
though.
so-
I recommend. That should be essential viewing for, like, everyone.
So really quick, I was trying to watch some Chaplin films for this list. The two that I didn't get to that were on my list was this, The Great Dictator, but I knew you were going to talk about it, so I pushed it just knowing how tight this recording schedule was, and also Limelight, just because that sounds like a really interesting, fascinating film. My number
True.
one...
So,
Oh, sorry,
yes.
I thought you were done.
Give me that number
Are
one.
you sure? Okay. My number one is sometimes referred to as the greatest silent film of all time. In this movie, it's so sweet. It's so nice. I fell in love with this film, and that's City Lights. Have you seen this?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. So this is the one that has that like really famous boxing scene. I feel like Charlie Chaplin films. Watching them, I'm like, I've seen this scene. Like, I've seen this, like, somewhere before. So this is the one where he, like, hides behind the ref and he, like, keeps, like, dodging behind it. And it's, like, really good slapstick humor there. But also, at the base of it, tells a really good love story between Charlie Chaplin's character and a blind florist. Or, I guess, when you first are introduced to her, a blind...
A florist.
Florist? Fuck you. A flower girl who's just selling flowers on the side of the street. Charlie meets her, falls in love, and tries to give her a better life by, certain things happen. But it's just a really cute love story. In the ending, at first I was going to give this 4 stars, and then the ending, the final scene, oh my god, it's actually fucking gold. It's, like, really, really, really good. There's also a really interesting friendship between him and, like, this, like, alcoholic millionaire, who is, like, best friends with him when he's really, really drunk. And then, like, in the morning, forgets who he is. So that's, like, a really interesting dynamic that plays through the entire film. I also feel... One thing I noticed with Chaplin films is I feel like there's typically, in comedy films, like, that rule of 3, where, like, if you go over doing something 3 times, it, like, stops playing as well. Chaplin does things, like, 20 times, and it just continues to work. So, like, in... sorry, this is probably going a little long, but I watched A Dog's Life. I think it's called Dog's Life. A Dog's Tale? Dog's Life? The dog one. And there's things that, like, continuously occur.
Extra, extra, read all about it. David's part of the podcast cut abruptly. The end of the episode is nigh. That's right, David. The episode's just ending.
Jesus.
Kind of rude if you ask me. But we have a lot of things we need to record today, so we're cutting this one a little bit short. That's why it was only 3. But David's like, what if we talked about every Charlie Chaplin film? We got a newspaper for sale over here, except this newspaper on your left is actually just mini episodes. They're like episodes, but teeny tiny. And also over on the other side are clips from the main show and snippets and reviews and the like. But what's that in the middle? Oh, it's a fancy new gadget from the future. If you click it, you can subscribe. I don't know what that means yet. I'm an old-timey man.
Nice.